is your reading for the upcoming full moon, and this reading will take effect from the full moon up until 2 weeks after the full moon. So this full moon is happening on January 28th, 2021 in its own sign of Cancer in the Pusha Nakshatra. But before I go any further to talk about the full moon, in case any of you guys are interested, I will show you the choices. Choice number 1 is Angel Aura Quartz. And maybe while I talk, you can kind of make your decision on which to pick. We have Apatite, and we have Amethyst. And Cancer obviously is a sign of your home or your mother. And Pusha Nakshatra, it means nourisher or the nurturer. And this can be seen by the symbol, which is the cow's udder, right? So that's where sort of the calves go up and receive all its nutrients to grow fast and strong, just like we did with our mother. So it is about taking care of your needs and nourishing yourself as well as other people and making healthy decisions for yourself. The Shakti, or the power of this nakshatra, is the power to harness creative spiritual energy. So really great time to work on creative projects, or kind of sit down with your thoughts and start kind of tapping into what your ideas are about what you should be doing with your life and how to navigate certain things. The desire of this nakshatra is to possess the splendor of spiritual knowledge. And as I say this, I'm one of those, I'm kind of guilty right now because I'm looking at my bookshelf and I'm just like, I have all these books. I have a really good collection of all these kind of books that I'm like, one day I'll read, right? But I'm thinking this full moon, I'm just going to turn off all kinds of distractions and really just dive into my books, or to listen to my teachers or my guides offer me some knowledge. It's a good time to do that, because actually what rules this nakshatra is Saturn, right? So Saturn is in the nakshatra of Shravana, right? And Shravana, as I talked about earlier, in different videos, is the symbolism is the year. So the ear, okay? I don't know why I said that weird. Ear. The two things on the either side of your face. So it's a good time to kind of listen instead of talk right now. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be talking right now, but there are so many things that we can learn by just sitting still and observing the energies around us and listening to the omens around us. And if we can learn to listen to the symbolism that surround us on our everyday routine, kind of decipher what your spirit guides are trying to let you know, your ancestors, all that kind of stuff, the universe, God. But Shravana Nakshatra, right? It's about listening. It's about taking in information. It's about listening to those who can offer you a nugget of wisdom, if you will. So paying attention to your spiritual practices, being present in the moment. The full moon, it is the brightest, meaning that it's going to shed light. There's so much light coming from above us. And what happens is that when I feel that in the last 2 weeks since the new moon, if things were kind of fuzzy or unknown or kind of not crisp and clear, this full moon is going to offer some truth. It's going to shed some light on the aspect of our life that was sort of a mystery. It's kind of like, you know how it is if you have bad eyes like I do. Whenever I got my first pair of glasses, I was just like, wait a second, this is how everybody sees? It's crisp and clear. It's like HD. So that is the type of thing that I feel like we are going to see with this full moon. It can also shed some light on ourselves that we really need to improve and focus on. So it's a really good time to take in that full moon energy by going outside, bathing in that light. Some of you collect moon water, full moon water, whatever you do. Go outside and feel that light, you know, sort of like engulfing you. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but shower, bathe in that moonlight. And what I feel also is important is to listen to your inner voice, that Shravana and that Pusha. So there's a lot of knowledge that we carry within our soul, and sometimes we turn it off when we don't pay attention to it. And what I fully recommend these days, because it has really changed my life, is First, meditating. Everybody talks about meditating. Second, a form of meditation that I practice, there's many forms, breathing, you know, controlling my breath, all that kind of stuff, but just writing without kind of paying attention to if your grammar's correct or your spelling is correct. Trust me, I'm terrible at grammar. Even when I'm speaking, I'm just like, I catch myself making grammatical errors and stuff like that. And spelling, you know, I'm not the best at it, but still I will write as if nobody is ever going to read it. It's just for me, myself, and I, in reflecting on my soul, letting my soul speak, you know, louder than the noise outside of me. And that really can help you reconnect with yourself, and it's extremely meditative as well. It will help you get back on your track. So just keep writing like a stream of consciousness. Right. Keep writing. Give yourself like 15 minutes, and after that you're gonna be like, hey, I should do this more often. Okay, so whoever picked group number 1, let's find out your main message by rolling this dice, the main focus for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll get into the cards. And after the reading, I will read from the medicine cards from the book because it has so much insight to offer us. Then I'll also be pulling some oracle cards for a yes or no question. But anyway, you're like, roll the dice. Let's see, group number 1, what is the major focus for the next 2 weeks after this upcoming full moon for group number 1? Okay, number 5. Do you see that? Let's see. Does it focus? Okay, number 5. There you go. So number 5 is talking about your creativity. This is the house of a child, right? House of the child. So this is your inner child connecting with it and getting creative, doing some fun things, getting romantic if you have somebody. If you don't, getting romantic with yourself, feeling that love for yourself, connecting back with yourself, and doing some things that are just bringing you joy and happiness and creativity and fun. Maybe you're playing some games, or you're really getting into games, or just, you know, you're just really focusing on your creativity. And so that's really beautiful. Maybe you're connecting with a child, if it's not your inner child, and that kind of stuff. Let us pull some cards. I'm feeling pulled to do this one right here for group number 1. What is the full moon message for group number 5? Sorry, group number 1. We got 5 of clubs. We got 3 of hearts. Anything else? Okay, we have Jack of clubs. Anything else? Group number 1. Okay, and then we have the Fool, or the Joker. Okay, so here's what I see, just on the playing cards alone, is the fact that I think you're going to be releasing some burdens. You know, no more drama. No more pettiness. Because the 5 of clubs can talk about the fact that there's some kind of chaos or imbalance that you may have experienced since the new moon. So with this full moon, what it's going to happen, as I stated earlier in the intro, if you heard about the astrological kind of messages behind the full moon, is that it's going to shed light on things that are kind of unfair or petty, or you just kind of want to release things. You don't want that burden on you anymore, and you're starting to feel like, hey, it's kind of childish, or it's not childish in a negative way, right? Because I talked about the number 5 earlier being that you want to connect with your creative and inner child, but number 5, the 5 of clubs itself is kind of like, I hear kids playing outside right now. I don't know if you hear that. So it's really lovely because the 5 in itself, the 5th house, is the child, and it's the inner child and playing games, like as I stated earlier. So maybe it's that. Maybe you're just like, I want to release the burdens of this like adulting life, and I just want to kind of relax and do things that reconnect with my inner child and things that make me happy, the things I actually freaking enjoy. You know, maybe it's that. But in a sense, I also see you're kind of releasing drama or petty attachments to things that no longer serve you, right? because the Three of Cups is like things coming together and you just enjoying each other's company with the people that you care about and really connecting on an emotional level. But for some of you, okay, the others of you who don't resonate with that, it's that there was an emotional disconnection or blockage between you and something that you desire. And with the Jack of Clubs, what I also see here is that there is a need for you to kind of get going, feel that energy again, feel that good vibe, good energy again, because you're kind of focusing on this new chapter of your life. You're focusing on a new phase of your life, right? With the Jack of Wands and the Fool card, it's like you're ready to just sort of jump into this new thing and to forget whatever burden was holding you back before. Okay, so that's just in a general basis. I feel that there's something you feel a strong emotional connection to, that you are ready, you feel very powerful about it, you feel very connected to it and passionate about it, and you're ready to go on this new journey. Because the Jack of Clubs and the Fool card, the kids are playing real loud now. Sounds like they're fighting now. So you gotta take that as an omen. It's like omen has a negative connotation, but everything is a sign that surrounds us. And it went from like kids playing to kind of just yelling. So maybe it was like something that was started off as, you know, loving and joking and having fun and lighthearted, then turns into something serious. So just watch out when that happens, because I don't think you need to surround yourself with that energy. If your intentions are clear, it is what it is, right? But their feelings could get muddled in the next 2 weeks. Things are coming up to the surface that you're starting to realize is not kind of connecting with you on an emotional level anymore, and you're ready to like just go into more positivity, right? Not the toxic positivity where everything is just rainbows and butterflies, but more so on a realistic level. You're realizing that your energy is sacred and you don't want to waste it with people, places, or things or mindsets that are not good for you, and rather you want to use that energy for this upcoming new exciting journey that you're about to face. And it's really something that you're very passionate about, that you feel a strong attraction to, so that's beautiful. Let us pull some tarot cards as well. Okay, yeah, we got the Sun. So it's definitely Leo energy, definitely children. It could be your father as well, or it could be an authority figure as well. But anyways, the Sun is, you know, really that 5th house energy of children, creativity, and your personality coming forward, and you're wanting to pursue things that bring you warmth and happiness and joy all around. And the Two of Swords is that you're going to have to make a decision to depart from unhealthy attachments that you may have. But what I feel strongly with this Two of Swords, as you can see, this woman has, you know, blocking her heart with the swords, which is the mind. Then you got the moon in the background. So with this full moon, more so than usual, you need to nurture yourself and take care of yourself and really reflect within what your voice within is trying to tell you. That is what's going to lead you out of a darkness or a dark period of your life, or, you know, thoughts that are kind of just circulating in your mind and are not really making you feel any better. What you're going to do instead is you're going to listen to your intuition, you're going to reflect within, and then you're going to start to depart from patterns and behaviors and situations that are no longer good for you. Okay, but the Devil card is, you know, it's the responsibility. It's that very Saturnian energy, right? It's that Capricorn energy. So what it's saying is that what you're going to be doing is you're going to be listening to the more responsible side of yourself as well, and together your heart is going to come with it, and you know, it's going to communicate well together, because before I think one was taking more precedence than the other. And what's going to happen here with the Devil card is that you're going to have a good balance between the two, where you're taking necessary responsible decisions in your life and your necessary steps, but at the same time not in such an unhealthy way where it's like overworking yourself or overburdening yourself. Because the Five of Clubs is reversed, you're stepping away from that burdening kind of vibe, and instead you're going into something that is responsible for your own happiness, responsible for your own success, right? That's what the Devil card kind of speaks on. Now, some of you guys do have an unhealthy connection to something that is in balance. So you have to kind of observe that right now. And I say that because, you know, with the Jack of Clubs here, this is something that you feel a strong connection to, or you feel a strong, passionate connection with, but at the same time maybe something that is kind of not is self-serving, or is not quite there in the long term, or is not healthy on all levels, not just in a like that, you know, it's like that jolt of energy that you get, but at the same time it's not sustaining. You know, it's kind of like caffeine. Honestly, I have a caffeine addiction. I'm trying to wane off of it by drinking like herbal teas and stuff like that. But I've been dealing with fat headaches, man. Oh my God. The worst freaking headaches. And I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking that, yes, caffeine gives me energy. But at the same time, when I don't drink it, it's this toxicness that is coming up, letting me know that my body has been dependent on something that perhaps is not the best for me. Now, I'm not saying caffeine is bad or anything. I'm not a coffee drinker. I just drink green tea or whatever, but I drink a lot of green tea. Way too much, right? So it's just like, hey, wait a second. This thing that I do every single day, is it good for me or bad for me? I just need to figure out where it becomes unhealthy. You know, it sort of crosses a line. Up to this point it's good, and then it crosses a line, then it becomes unhealthy. Everything has that effect on us, right? Food, people, energy, all this kind of stuff, where it's like up to a certain point it's good, but then when you just go overboard, that's when it becomes unhealthy for you. So you just kind of have to look at that in the next 2 weeks. But I'm thinking you're going to make a healthy decision towards it, because you're about to like go into this new next phase of your life where you're really excited about it. You know, you're really excited about it. You just need to get kind of responsible with the way that you approach it. And responsible doesn't mean wah, wah, like, you know, like doom, doom and hell, right? It's just like when you're checking off that to-do list and you're doing everything right, you feel so good about yourself because you're actually progressing and you see that progress. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I kind of see. Let's pull an animal card, medicine card for the next 2 weeks for you guys. I will be reading from the book for group number 1. So you might be seeing these animals a lot, or maybe this animal has a message for you. And I fully recommend this deck. Check it out, not sponsored. All right, here we have the hummingbird. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I am so emotional, that water moon. Okay, 44 hummingbird. I love that. I love hummingbirds because hummingbirds kind of come up in my life whenever I kind of think about or need a message from a deceased one in my family. So let's see, 44. Okay, so let's read from the book. Hummingbird, joyful little sister, nectar you crave. All the sweetness of the flower is the love you gave. Hummingbird, the keyword is joy here. Hummingbird is associated with the ghost shirt religion, which taught that a certain dance done properly would bring about the return of the animals and the white people would disappear. Once again, the original people would know the joy of the old ways. In Mayan teachings, hummingbird is connected to the black sun in the fifth world. Hummingbird can give us the medicine to solve the riddle of the contradiction of duality. The song of hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. Hummer sings a vibration of pure joy. Flowers love hummingbird because nectar sucking brings about the reproduction of the families. Plant flowers and live because of hummingbird. Plants and flowers live because of hummingbird. Hummingbird can fly in any direction, up, down, backwards, and forward. Hummingbird can give can also hover in one spot and appear to be motionless. Great Spirit created hummingbird to be slightly different from other feather creatures. Because of their magical qualities, hummingbird feathers have been used for a millennium in the making of love charms. It is said that hummingbird conjures love as no other medicine does, and that hummingbird feathers open the heart. Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. Oh, I love that. That's the sun, that's the heart, and that's the fifth, we had the fifth house too, right? So love and romance are created from that as well, because without that, children wouldn't be born. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, where do we leave off? Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. To brother and sister hummingbird, life is a wonderland of delight, darting from one beautiful flower to another, tasting the essence and radiating the colors. If hummingbird is your personal medicine, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joy to others. You join people together in relationships which bring out the best in them. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and near or far, your journey to your ideal. You move comfortably within a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. Hummingbird holds the bow of beauty, which is delicately inlaid with the gold and silver flowers, pearls, and precious jewels. Hummingbird disdains ugliness or harshness and quickly flies away from discord or disharmony. If hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. Hummingbird will no doubt give you a flash of the spirit, darting here, there, and everywhere. Get ready for a strange new burst of energy, which may send your senses reeling. Hummingbird hears celestial music and is in harmony with it. Hummingbird may invite you to an art museum or concert. Hummingbird energetically embraces the highest aesthetics. Never be coarse in front of a hummingbird, for this is a fragile medicine which may have no understanding of worldly affairs. Beauty is the target, and hummingbird's mission is to spread joy or to be destroyed. Hummingbird quickly dies if caged, caught, or imprisoned. Follow Sister Hummingbird and you will soon be filled with paroxysms of joy and experience a renewal of the magic of living. Whew. That's beautiful. You know, I love when there's tons of synchronicities like that, because the hummingbird is the joy, and the fifth house is joy, happiness, creativity, right? And romance and all that kind of stuff. So that is the message I see for you. And if you're interested, I will be pulling one of these oracle cards. So please ask your question. Oh, here we go. Take action. Okay, that's what I see. Take action. So that's beautiful, because the energies are very supportive of that. It's a really auspicious time to begin anything, and to step away from the things that were holding you back, because you're about to go on a new journey. Take action. All right, so that's the message I have for you guys. Okay, so whoever picked appetite, let's find out what your message is. And at the end, I'll be pulling these medicine cards and reading from the book, and also answering a question with this oracle deck. Okay, so let's find out. Group number 2, what do they need to know? Oh, you know what? Let's first pull the dice. Sorry. All right, let's pull the dice to see, let's throw the dice to see what the major theme for group number 2 is for the next 2 weeks. There you go, the 10th house, beautiful, or the number 10. Let's see, does it focus? Oh, there you go, 10. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so with the 10th house, what I see for you guys, group number 2, is that your focus is going to be on your external life or your career. And I feel that this is really good for you, because there's some sort of a success, work related to career, work, all that kind of stuff that is happening in the next 2 weeks. Your focus will be on that. So that's really beautiful. And what else? With the number 10, right? Numerologically speaking, it's the number 1, which is the sun. So this is your personality, what you're showing out into the world, you know, yourself. And so there's a lot of confidence that you feel about this new chapter you're entering in your life and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's see. Group number 2. What is the message for the next 2 weeks? Eight of Wands, 2 of Wands, 8 of Coins, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, wow, look at all that wand energy. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so here's what I see with that. Is that first of all, with the 10th house, there's like this passion and drive that you feel about accomplishing something in your life, and the energies are very, very supportive of that. Like I stated earlier when I talked about the full moon energy and when I looked into it, I think this is a really good time to start any projects that you have about your career or your job, or in the way that you present yourself to the world. With the 8 of Wands, there's some kind of fast communication coming your way, and the 2 of Wands is saying that it is something that you are waiting on, a message that you're waiting on coming your way, because I feel like you have made some sort of a goal or decision, or at least you have thought about it. And some of you, it is in the form of a New Year's resolution, or maybe you're just kind of like just thinking about your future, and boom, in comes this really significant message that you have been waiting on, or that you need to hear before you can start to believe and move away from something with confidence, okay, and move into something with confidence. Because I think for some of you guys, you have been feeling with the 7 of Wands kind of overburdened, or not being able to really focus on the things that you want to focus on, because there's various distractions or various like circumstances that are holding you back from focusing on what it is truly that you want to focus on, right? And what I see here is that there's also like some sort of a talent that you have, or something that you truly desire, your soul is calling out for you to focus on, that I feel like you guys are kind of hesitant on for whatever reason. It could be financial reasons, it could be lack of confidence that you feel in about yourself, like, if I move towards this direction in my career, am I going to be supported, or am I kind of just like talking out of my ass? Like, I always think that, like, when I say talking out of my ass, I'm talking literally like, am I literally just delusional? Am I honestly delusional to think that I could ever do this, you know? We are our worst critics sometimes, our harshest critics. So what's important with this 8 of Coins is to ask yourself, like, how much are you dedicated towards it? How much are you willing to work for it? Because it's not going to be an easy road, right? But it's worth having. It's worth letting yourself have it. It's worth letting yourself go towards it. So get out of your own mind and know that you have a lot of talent to offer. Know that you have so much to offer, and that your life is not just stuck doing this boring thing, whatever it is. I'm sorry, some of you guys are like, I don't resonate. What are you talking about? But, you know, for the select number of you guys, it's a general reading, right? That you're just like telling yourself, like, is this how my life is destined, when there is so much more out there? And you know damn well at the core of yourself, at the deep, you know, your soul, when you connect back to it. Because some of you guys feel disconnected from your soul right now. And it's all work, 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 no play. It's all like, let's get serious, let's do this and that, where the joy has dissipated. So it's important to connect back with what gives you joy. And the universe is steadfastly, like super fast, trying to send you a message, but sometimes you ignore it. And you need to just lean into it. You need to have confidence in the universe. You need to have confidence in yourself. And when you can learn to really take in those messages that your higher self or whoever the hell is trying to send you, then you will realize, like, oh my gosh, like, why am I boxing myself in this situation? I box myself in this situation when I know that I'm destined to do more. I'm destined to do what the heck I like. with my authentic expression. You know, that's all that it's asking you to do, is to express yourself authentically. It doesn't matter how it looks to other people or how it greatly differs from what you have been doing. It's just, if you can authentically express yourself, that's all you are destined to do. Period. That's all you have come here to do, is to express yourself authentically. Have I said that enough? I'm repeating myself at this moment. But I hope that makes sense to you, because it's like some of you guys have like put yourself in this box or told yourself that it is what it is. So what? It is what it is, right? But no, it's not what it is. It's what you are. It's what you are, not what it is. Sometimes I get aggressive. Sometimes I get real aggressive. I'm like throwing hands. I'm like pointing, you know? But that's what I mean is, that's all. And I know some of you guys resonated with it. Some of you guys who didn't, maybe today the message isn't for you, but maybe future readings, but you know what I mean? Okay. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. I mean, I get this card. I have received this card a few times in my own readings, but I never know how to pronounce it. I should look it up. Today is the day. Gross. I'm just gonna say gross, even though that doesn't sound kind of good. But and then if you want to stick to the end, I will pull a card, oracle card. But let's look at the 34. And the reason I read from the book for this specific one, because the book has so much knowledge to offer. And next time you see a gross symbol, then you know that what the message is. You know what I mean? Once and for all. Animal messages are so prevalent. Oh, look at that. Okay. Gross, of the sacred spiral, leading us on to teach the everlasting heights where we can live as one. And the key is sacred spiral. Okay. Gross once flocked in abundance throughout North America, but now, even on the plains where these birds were so plentiful, there is an absence of them. Okay, so I guess that they have gone extinct, or damn near. Many plains Indian tribes dance the gross dance to honor these birds. The movement of the dance follows a spiral, which is the ancient symbol of birth and rebirth, the ribbed tunnel of eternal return. The sacred spiral is also one of the... By the way, guys, I'm reading from the book, and I know this book is very old, so just excuse me if anything comes up that you're like, what in the heck? This is I'm trying to look at the copyright. 1988. Okay, anyways. Sacred spiral is also one of the oldest known symbols for personal power. When you think of gross medicine, visualize a whirlpool or even a tornado, for the sacred spiral will take you to the center. The spiral is a metaphor for personal vision and enlightenment. Many initiatives on vision quests paint spirals on their bodies and believe that the great mystery will favor them with visions of power and purpose because of this symbol. The whirling dervishes of certain Sufi orders are masters of the spiral dance and can transcend to higher states of awareness through the repetition of the sacred movement. It is said that dervishes can travel to the center of the spiral and return with any magical power they choose. In the dervish state, one enters the great silence and has direct communication with the creator by spinning clockwise or counterclockwise. The dervish draws or repulses specific energies. Sufi dancing is a system which connects one with the divine source through ritual treatment of motion. I'm sorry. I'm like stumbling on my words. If you have gross medicine in your cards, undertake a meditation on the various qualities of movement within your world. Begin by visualizing the sun as one member of a huge group of stars swirling in the massive pinwheel shape of the Milky Way. Then draw yourself out of this pinwheel of light into the spiraling of your own DNA's double helix, an arrangement similar to a rope ladder coiled like corkscrew. Analyze the way you move through your world. How do you picture yourself in the act of locomotion? What kind of reaction do you create with the energy you send into the universe? What words would you use to describe the way you move through both the material and spiritual worlds? In the final analysis, is your movement compatible with your greatest desires and goals? Many spiritual disciplines ask that you seize all external movement in order to recognize the inner life. Gross medicine, however, is an invitation to dance. Gross celebrates the divine source through its sacred spiral dance and offers this dance to you as a gift. You can spend a lifetime learning Gross's lesson. I'm thinking I'm pronouncing it wrong, but anyways, Gross's lesson on how to harmonize your dance with Mother Earth's cycles and how to offer the dance as a creation of selfless beauty. There it is. So basically, you know, it's interesting that there's a bird right here and a bird right there, because, and right here too, even though it is the Eight of Pentacles, you see these birds taking flight in the background, and with this as well. I just noticed that. So what it is I feel like, you know, there's a lot of messages coming to you, really sacred spiritual messages that are trying to get you back on track with who you really are, what your soul has come to do. And I know this is such a very big picture thing. It's not on an everyday level, like, oh, you're gonna get a message, you're gonna get a text message. Maybe you will, but it's like, you guys, group number 2 is much more on a spiritual level, that you are going to transcend, that you are going to remember who your soul is, and you're going to get off this kind of track that you set for yourself that is taking you to a place where your soul is not even really happy, and you're going to get back on track, okay? And you're going to remember all of that, and you're going to remember how powerful just you really are, and that these messages are not coincidences. The things that are happening around you are not just coincidence. It is trying to really reach to the center of your heart space and tell you, get the up. Wake the hell up. You know what I mean? It's really trying to like knock on your heart. Like, hello, is anybody there? Get up. You know? The part of yourself that has kind of fallen asleep. And that's what it is, you guys. I'm sorry if that kind of got little like, hello. Why is she like yelling at me, cussing at me? But that's how I see, okay? Let's see here. Please ask a question at this moment. Trust. You know, when Anza throws her cards like that, she means business. And she's pissed. And I'm angry because you don't trust yourself. That's none of my business. We all have our path, but why don't you trust yourself? It gets on my nerves because you have so much to offer. You have so much skills and talents. And even if you don't think you do, you're on the way to acquiring them. Or you know just what you need to do. Yet you forget that about yourself in this everyday grind. And that's what it really is. It's grind because it grinds your soul. Right? People are like, get on that grind, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And yes, I mean, those things are earthly. They are important. But at the same time, if it's grinding your soul and making powder out of your soul's not meant to be powder. Okay? Your soul is not... What am I trying to say here? Your soul is not some like protein powder or like some, you know, spices in your cabinet. Your soul is the main dish. It's the main thing. And all the other things spice up your life, obviously. Your work, your career, your finances, your love life. All those things spice it up, but you are the main ingredient. So why are you grinding your soul? You are not a spice. You're the main thing right here, okay? So I just want you to know. I just want you to know that. That's it. I'm going to close off this reading, okay? Sorry if I'm in kind of a funky mood, but... I feel happy because I feel that you are going to awaken to your true purpose. Okay, group number 3, let's find out what your message is for the next 2 weeks after the full moon. I'll be reading from the Medicine Cards book and answering questions with this oracle card at the end for group number 3, Amethyst. Okay, look at that. So, can you see that? 12, okay? So what that means is that your next 2 weeks is going to be focused on detachment. Focused on detaching from the things that don't truly make you happy, that distract you from your soul's purpose, that distract you from the voice within. Because this is where you go to meditate. All right, this is really that meditation energy. So I talked about earlier how there are many different forms of meditation that I practice myself. It's not just that you have to sit in a corner in a posture, perfectly in a posture, and do perfectly what you're told in perfect silence. It doesn't have to be like that. Different strokes for different folks, right? As they say. So sometimes there are times that can be very, very helpful for you. It really attunes you back to your inner voice, and it really can make you feel a lot more healthier too. But in other ways, there's different ways you could do it by getting creative, because the 12th house, you can get very, very creative. You can just go into another world, another dimension when you're really into what you do, right? If you guys have seen that movie Soul, I mentioned this before in a reading, but there is a space that our soul goes to when we're so into what we're doing, when we're so focused on what we love, right? And so that's what it is, you know? So I think you guys are going to get very creative. You're going to kind of detach yourself from certain things that don't serve you, that are not that are serving as kind of distractions from your inner voice. You're going to be meditating and all of that stuff. Of course, this could be where on a more kind of soul level, right? Even our body at the end we discard, and that's the 12th house. It's all of the things that are sort of like baggages that are holding you back from feeling light. But at the same time, our body is very, very important. It's not just a meat suit, as some people say. It's not a meat suit, okay? It is the body you were put in, your soul was put in. And at the end, we say thanks to it and we discard it. But you have to treat your body like a temple, right? This is who you are, part of who you are too. And so all of that, I don't know why I'm getting into all of that, but I just want you to know with the 12th house, it's like a house of detachment, detaching from certain things and getting to the core of it, or connecting with the universe, okay, all of that kind of stuff. But, journeys of the mind, I think you're going to be going on. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. There you go. Okay. So let's see. Group number 2, next 2 weeks. So the Wheel of Fortune is that Jupiter energy, right? Pisces, the 12th house, and also Sagittarius, the 9th house. Very, very spiritual in a way. Very spiritual connections. Connecting to the spiritual realm, okay? And expanding your consciousness, expanding the idea that you have about something, learning, educating yourself, connecting spiritually. That's all of the Wheel of Fortune stuff. And with the Hangman, the Hangman is a person who's very, very conscious because this is a person in meditation. This is a person who their crown chakra is being lit, and all that kind of stuff. So what it is I feel like you're educating yourself. You are going within yourself. You're meditating. And sometimes these readings can tell us things on the material plane. In the 3D world, but other times the reading can be in a very spiritual way, and that's what I feel together with the 12th house, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hangman can be kind of telling you about, is the need to meditate, to reflect within, to educate yourself, to learn, to get spiritual, right? And because that's going to help you kind of go into this next level of self-understanding, like understanding yourself in a better way. Because the Knight of Cups is sort of a graduation. You're walking away from things that can no longer help you grow. You've got, the lemon has been squeezed. Okay, so there's no juice left in it. That's what it's saying, right? So right now you're reflecting on your next journey, where you wish to take your life in this next phase. And that's why I feel like the other kind of choices talked about you're entering a new phase, because of course it's the full moon. You're releasing certain lessons that you have already acquired and learned. You're reflecting on those things, and now you're ready to go out and learn new lessons. That's what the Eight of Cups is talking about. And this is the expansion of your consciousness, because a lot of the things kind of point to long distance journeys. So you're going on the journey of the mind, or maybe for some of you physically, this is an actual journey, actually traveling or moving, right? Because the Knight of Coins is kind of saying this is like a steady movement. It's slow on the course of life, but it's slow and steady. And it's, you know, something that can't be just taken away in a quick moment. This is some really good things in progresses that you're making in your life that might seem slow, but it's still moving. It's getting there in its very secure way, in a very grounding way. I think you are doing all of that. But because these majority of the cards are reversed, there is a need for you to ground yourself. Okay, that's another way of looking at it. The good and the bad, I guess you could say. Well, it's not good or bad per se, but on the other end of the spectrum, it's important to look at these group of cards and the dice to kind of see that maybe you guys are just escaping too much. Okay, I'm gonna call you out on this channel. This is what I'm here for. It's the 8th house. It's the truth, right? So the hangman is that the only thing we know is that we're all gonna die someday. That is something that you don't need anybody to predict for you. You're just gonna go. We all know we're gonna go. We're gonna depart this body. So that's what the Wheel of Fortune talks about, right? And all of that. And so when it's reversed like this, maybe you guys are just like too much in this trying to escape what it is that you can't escape. Okay, and you need to really face your shadows. You really need to focus on what you need to be doing right now, and getting down to it's gonna make you feel more grounded. That's why the Knight of Coins is the only one that is upright, because the Knight of Coins knows that you know, you don't want to, this is not a race. First and foremost, it's not who gets there the fastest. It is who makes the best out of a situation, okay? Who makes the best out of a situation, who makes responsible choices, who is grounded on earth, okay? And so because he is the only one that is upright, I want to say on the other hand, it's important for you to kind of ground your visions, to get back on earth, okay? And to start doing what you gotta do. Okay, and that's going to help you expand your consciousness in a way too, because after all, I love all this like star seeds and da-da-da-da. I love all that stuff, guys, but at the end of the day, we have all incarnated on earth as who we are for a specific purpose our soul has chosen. Our soul chose this specific birth chart, which is our blueprint, because it needed to experience what you all had to experience, whether it's pain or joy or suffering or success, whatever it is. We're all meant to experience exactly what has been designed. Our free will comes into play because you don't want to fall into the lower urges, right? You don't want to fall into the side of yourself that can be expressed in the dark way. But at the same time, it's all about the balance. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's another video in the future. But I want you to know the Knight of Coins is upright because it wants you to make some steady progress. It wants you to get back to earth, ground yourself. That's what's important. You are here on planet Earth. You are not here. You are not there out into a different star system. Okay? You chose to come here. So ground yourself, ground your visions, and make, practical decisions. But at the same time, you know, I think you're going to be really, really inspired spiritually as well. So it all connects back to everything. It's all a circle, right? Let's pull a oracle deck to see what the message is. Group number 3, what do they need to know? Ooh, wild boar. Number 48. Very earthy. Okay. And I read from the book because the book has so much to offer. Just a heads up, it is kind of an older thing, so I don't know if something is on here. I'm just gonna read it how it is. Okay, confrontation. Wild boar teaches us to confront without fear, ripping apart the denials and lies that appear, testing courage, finding truth. Its medicine will remain a part of every human path, marking the victories we attain. So freaking true. I love when it all kind of comes together. So it's about confronting a side of ourselves without fear. Although the warrior has accustomed to the sultry heat of his bayou homeland, he was shaking as if from a cold draft. The council of elders had caught him telling a lie. The punishment of this offense was banishment from the tribe. To restore his honor among the people, he would have to face the wild boar with a knife as his only weapon. If he failed, he would die, torn apart by the ravaging tusk of the fiery-eyed beast. This prospect filled him with dread. Then the spirit of the wild boar came to him in a dream. It was enraged that the young man had broken his warrior vows by lying. It told him that he would first have to face and conquer the self-important and deceitful beast within himself. Ooh. Oh my goodness. If he hoped to survive their combat. The young warrior vowed to honor the truth from that moment forward. He faced a wild boar that day and killed the beast. The warrior kept the tusk of his adversary as a lifelong reminder to always confront the weakness within himself. There are several varieties of boar, and the powerful medicine of the warrior clans applies to all of them. The Maya cold boar, javelina, or I'm thinking it's javelina, but I could be pronouncing it wrong. And the Choctaws saw the razorback as wild boar. Its medicine teaches us to confront human weaknesses and to change them into strength. The human spirit is empowered through wild boar's willingness to confront fears, the challenges at hand, and uncomfortable circumstances, courageously standing tall without running from the situations that life presents. It's powerful medicine indeed. If wild boar has charge into your cards today, you are being asked to confront anything or anybody that you have been avoiding. Pay attention, embrace your warrior nature, and find the courage to confront your fears. Or are you being asked to confront a personal weakness or a career challenge? It's time to finish a project that you abandoned thinking it might be too difficult to accomplish. Confront your feelings regarding some situations that make you nervous or cause discomfort and bring yourself the peace of closure. If you have been procrastinating, a wild boar is reminding you to quit avoiding the inevitable. In all cases, it is insisting that you be fully present and mindful of what is happening and why. If you drew this card, you already possess the courage needed to confront all what life offers. Just remember where you hid that courage. Challenges do not simply vanish unless you actively embrace your issues. You cannot reclaim your spirit's energy. Half the battle is won through the warrior's willingness to acknowledge and to accept the whole truth at all times. If any time a card called your butt out, it did. It just called your butt out, okay? And mine as well. Trust me, this card comes up for me all the freaking time. So what it's saying is, hey, it's time to ground yourself. There is a reason why the Knight of Coins is the only one that is upright, and the Hangman itself as well. It's time to stop hanging around, plant your feet on the ground, and whatever knowledge you have gained through this practice or process, put it into action. You have a lot of ideas and you are so connected spiritually. But don't escape on one side or the other. Okay, confront your fears and your darknesses and make steady progress. Okay? All right, so let's see the cards for you guys. I don't know. I feel so called out by the cards because I picked number 3 too. All right, ask a question. There we go. Get more information. Okay, I'm gonna pull another one. Oh, romance. And not the right time. Okay, so get more information kind of shows me here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Hangman, because this is about learning, right? Educating yourself to what is happening right now. So it's good time to think about it. It's good time to really think on a realistic term what you need to do by gaining more information. But when it comes to romance, this could be interpreted in different ways. When we're in love with something, we're willing to do anything for it, right? So remind yourself of that love that you have for yourself, or what it is that you're interested in, or you're passionate about, whether it's a person or whatever it is. Just spark that romance within you. Love what you do. Love your process. You know, your process is something that we could be harsh about, like, why isn't it going as smoothly as we like, or as quickly as we like, or why are we not getting the results that we want? But it's all in the process. It's all in the journey. So just remind yourself, love your journey and your process, and fall in love with something again. It's not the right time right now to rush yourself. It's not the right time to just throw it all up in the air, or just hang around and just escape to somewhere else in your mind. It's time to get practical, right? That's what it's saying, okay? There are times that call for that, and other times you got to get practical. All right, so that is what I see for you guys. I know this one, the number 3, was a little bit spicy. I apologize, but sometimes the messages come out like that, right? All right, here we go. Bye.